In an effort to keep my fingers firmly attached to my hands, I'm going to make a couple push blocks to have around the shop. We are the Follises, Sherry and Sean. We started turning stitches to share our creativity with you. Please follow along and see what we create next.
I'm trying to wrap up an outdoor chair project that I've been working on for a while now. And now I'm down to putting roundovers on a lot of the pieces and parts. I've got hundreds of parts to do. And my concern is I may get a little lax, maybe not paying close enough attention to what I'm doing. So in an effort to just try to keep my hands out of the cutter head, I'm going to make some quick, just shop-made push blocks. You can buy these things commercially, but I happen to grab, and this is just sort of a cushioned pad. So I'm just going to take this pad, a non-stick pad, and some scraps, and make a couple push blocks. So our first step on this is just some quick layout. I've got some material here that's about an inch thick or so. And I know I need roughly where my hand, I'm going to use this for the handle, use these pieces for the handles, and these larger blocks for the bottom. So I've got a couple different options here. I know I only need about probably about 4.5 inches here. So I'm just going to mark that here real quick. And I need a good, I don't need too much of a handle. Probably about 2.5 inches up. I'm just kind of making this up as we go along here a little bit. This will give us just a quick rundown. All right. And I'm not being too overly precise here. I'm going to take this over to the bandsaw. Actually, this one board's probably going to be all I need. Measure over. I'll make actually, we're just going to do it this way. We're going to make it about 3/4 of an inch. About the width of this ruler. That's what it's going to be. This will be our handle. We'll put a little curve on the ends here. Take it over the bandsaw. Get us fixed up. Alright, so I've got that marked out nice and square. We're going to round these edges here. We'll do that in a second. I do want these corners to be round. You kind of want to round that off just so it's easier to use. I'm just using a Forstner bit. I've got this Forstner bit here that we're just going to use. Basically, it's going to give me a pattern for this curve. I have to do a little eyeballing when we get over to the bandsaw. This will get us pretty close. This will give us at least a line to shoot for. Looks like my pencil lead's about out. That kind of gives us our layout, our markings for this piece on the block. Just going to take a quick measurement and see what that overall, about 1.5 inches. So I'm going to make it about 6.5 inches. I'm just going to do a quick mark here. We'll make that about, I'll probably make these about 2.5 inches wide. I'm not sure why. But that's about what we're going to do. I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to cut all this over at the bandsaw. Let's see if we got enough room. I do have enough room. going to cut all this stuff over at the bandsaw because we got a bunch of stuff stacked on the table saw. These cuts would be really easy on the table saw. We're going to use the bandsaw instead. All right, I'm going to fire up the bandsaw. Got a little push block here, help us get through there, but cut away some of the stuff we don't need. Got the inside of that out of there. Just gonna come in here, get the outside curve. Alright, got one handle. Don't use a miter gauge at this saw very often, but we're going to use it in this case. So here I've got a little bit of that chicken and the egg situation going on here. So this is kind of the operation here at the router table that I'm making the push blocks for. So I'm going to use these to help me get these handles kind of rounded over just a little bit and smooth them off a little bit. So that's what we're going to try to do, but this is really the situation that we're trying to help resolve or make a little safer with the push blocks. So now we've got our parts. It's just a matter of getting everything put together. So I'm just going to give myself a center line here. inch in, each end. That's pretty close. This will just give me a good spot for pilot holes here. Do you want to go ahead and try to get a hole going in the handles as well? Now, the one mistake I just realized I made, I didn't mark which handle I matched up with which base here, so I have to see what fits. As luck would have it, that seems to fit. All right, our last step is just to apply the non-stick material here on the bottom. Just cut this. Just using a little super glue here. Get it coated everywhere. Just going to take a quick spray there. A little pressure. That ought to do it. And there we got it. Finished push block.